I've been in coaching for just over 4 years now. And I've always really, ever since the first time I worked with a coach, I've always really enjoyed having a coach. And up until 4 years ago, I really didn't know what coaching was, but I just find that it's very helpful. I know the things that I want to do and that I want to accomplish. And lots of times you just get stuck in, making things harder than they need to be, or not seeing things clearly for what they are, or just being hung up on something. And having a coach, someone you can talk to, almost always unravels those, seemingly impossible tasks, and you get into action and you get it done. And that's where I really think for me, the power in working with a coach comes from, is just pushing through on problems and ideas that I have, and getting them from the idea stage to the action stage. That's really the key. Well, for me, it was kind of figuring out figuring out the next step for my business. And when you and I started working together, I wasn't the hotel financial coach. I was the hotel coach trying to sell a financial process and product. And it was through working with you, and then eventually working on rebranding my business, that I discovered the financial coach piece, and that I really didn't have I didn't own the idea that I could be the hotel financial coach. And you really helped me see that that wasn't such a big leap from where I was, and that it was a natural place for me to go. Once I got clarity around that, it totally changed my business. And I remember several discussions we had where you kind of outlined the need to understand your numbers. And I was really struggling with that. And, my version of that is like, how many blog posts do I need to write before my phone rings and someone wants to talk to me about what I do, because they've read my blog and they're excited about what I write about. And, before I started working with you, I had never ever written a thing. And it was a year ago in May that, a combination of talking with you and listening to an audio, I decided to, sit down one morning and write. And then the idea that came out of our conversation was, well, do more of that. And I did that. And now I've got, the content for a book. I've got over 60,000 words on hospitality financial leadership and how to create a financially engaged leadership team. And quite frankly, before we started working together, I'll use the word afraid, but I was afraid to step into that space, to say that I owned it. Who am I to own anything like that? And you basically told me, well, that's who you are and what you do. Like, just go for it. And kind of hearing that and thinking more clearly around, it's like, well, why wouldn't I? Who else is going to do it? Who else owns this space? I do. It's mine. Well, it's had a profound impact because, for the first 3 years of my business, I bounced around. I struggled a lot with how do I create clients? What's my way to get clients? What's my way to get business? And I think for every coach, that's the hurdle you have to climb. In working with you, and also working with Stephen Chandler's coaching school, I heard that loud and clear. And it was a combination of that understanding that every coach needs to find their own way to create clients, which I knew, but then it was demonstrated to me by doing the writing, and that's my way. And it was just like right out of the blue, how could this possibly be true that writing would be the way that I would create clients? It's like mind-boggling. And if you told me a year ago, David, this will be how it will work, and a year from now, you will have clients and they'll be flying you across the country and they'll be paying you thousands of dollars to speak and coach them, I would have said, that's what I want, but I think you're crazy. I've got 3 online publications that every week I send them a blog and they publish it, as well as my own social media and LinkedIn and stuff like that. So you're probably the, 7th or 8th coach that I've worked with in the last 4 years. And I've enjoyed the experience of every single one of those coaches, but working with you was much more of a collaborative process. I'll call it that. For me, what that means is that I was able to really show up with all of my questions and curiosity, almost like you would with a friend. in a much more natural way. With the other coaches, it was about how I needed to show up or something. So I really appreciated that relationship, and still do with you, is that I can just show up and be me, and you're not going to try and fix me or anything like that. You just listen to what I say, and then you try and help me with what my challenge is. And I think that for me, it's a powerful lesson on my coaching as well, is that our job is not to show up and fix someone or show them the way. It's to get them to see the way themselves, what's going to work for them. That's in a nutshell coaching.